What's going on, MSFers? Duelim here, back again with another video, and today we've got Cosmic Crucible Week 3 recap, Week 4 defense, and you'll see I went 2-1, only losing my round 2, so we're sticking at 2041 Tribunal rating, so moving slightly up in the world. But for round number 1, we went against DNA level C23, and this gentleman is part of the Discord. So he's a pretty swell guy. He reaches out to us pretty often. He has some cool defenses, some cool counters. So room number 1 on attack, I used Weaver, Lady Deathstrike, Black Knight, APOC, and Wasp because he had a Dakin in here, so couldn't use the 2099 because Stealth would give Dakin a bunch of speed. He also had a pre-taunt, Thanos, Kahori, and Ms. Marvel, a massive Thanos, a massive Kahori, a massive Ms. Marvel, so got through this really, really nice. All I did was essentially I just waited until Apocalypse could be able to ult without Ms. Marvel having taunt, and then got through it pretty easily. Room number 2, did a flawless Infinity Watch sack with Guardian, took out Captain Britain even at 3 diamonds, and then Superior 6, and even used the Doc Ock here because I used LDS in room number 1. Room number 3, we did Mercs for Money, APOC, worked okay-ish. This room in room 3 with Super Scroll is rough because it's the When It Rains room, so he's always got Safeguard, he's always got defense up, he's always got immunity, he's got stealth, it's a lot. So this room gave me some efficiency troubles, but got through it in a one-shot. Room number 4, double sack, Night Stalkers, super straightforward. I don't even need the Emma here because there's no Lady Deathstrike, but I forgot that, so I did it anyway. But it's fine. Room number 5, we did Eternals, 2-piece Secret Defenders, and Big Time Spider-Man. Big Time Spider-Man stops the Lizard, and then Eternals and the 2-piece SD do their thing. Room number 6, we did Cabal, Kang, and Northstar. Northstar to take off the revives, Kang to get a quick crit and do some big damage, Cabal to do Cabal things. Then on defense, I had the Ms. Marvel Hardlight, Kahori, the other Ms. Marvel classic, Gore, and Thanos in here, and he used APOC, 2099, Weaver, Red Hulk, and BK. This barely survived, and the only reason it did is because Weaver was able to get a kill under 50% life and had that extra damage, so this barely worked. Room number 2, he tried to go for the one-shot with Superior 6, Nightcrawler, Odin. It did not work, and then he came in with a New Warriors cleanup. Room number 3, ended up timing out because I had the Dormammu in here, so pretty interesting that this ended up being a timeout, but I will take it. So got a quick timeout here, even with the Mercs, Ares, BTS, and then I had to come in with some, just some leftovers, honestly. Kraven, Mysterio, Moondragon, just some big characters to delete Super Scroll quickly. Room number 4, double sack, Night Stalkers, Kestrel. Kestrel's also a good option in here, even when there's no Lady Deathstrike as well, because it stops the summons. Kestrel does more damage, gets the ping, stuff like that. And then room number 5, he tried a Falcon, Absorbing Man, Storm, Black Cat, and Beast. I have no clue what the thought process was here, other than Black Cat stops the speed up on spawn for Pav, and pre-taunt soaks up the Absorbing Man hits, and then maybe Storm gets a stun on somebody, and it goes from there. I wish I could see combat cancels, but you can't. And then he came in with Cabal, Black Cat, and Zemo, and it still struggled. And then room number 6, he used Kang, LDS, Storm, Moondragon. Yeah, it's not Moonstone. Moondragon, right? No, Moonstone. This is Moonstone. And Emma against my Astral Nightcrawler. So round number 1, a victory. Round number 2 going against SBV2, and this is where I saw the Devil's defense here. So did a double sack, and unfortunately did not sack correctly. So I walked into a Kahori ult, a Kahori special, and a Kahori basic because she takes 3 turns, obviously. So here, BK, Tangled, APOC, Lady Deathstrike did not end up working, but it was kind of close, surprisingly enough. But yeah, this is the Devil's defense. So essentially, Thanos is next to Kahori, giving Kahori energy, so sacking this room is sucky. Room number 2, we've got Old Man Logan, Dakin, Black Cat, Squatch as a pre-taunt, and Ares going into a Dorm, Sus, Annihilators. Pretty straightforward. In room 2, it's nowhere near as bad. Room number 3, Cabal, Kang, Titania going against an Astral with Medusa. I think that's Medusa. Yeah, Medusa took it out pretty handedly. Room number 4 could not clear as well. Unfortunately, when they have 3 Diamond Captain Britain and have Black Bolt in here. Oh, he didn't even have Black Bolt. I still couldn't even kill the Captain Britain. Good on me, even without Black Bolt in here. Wow, what a time to be alive. No, Black Bolt's right there. I'm blind. So with Black Bolt in here, it gives 50% extra health to the Captain Britain. Even with the offense up Moondragon hitting into him, I couldn't kill him. So it's just a matter of I just don't have a 3-diamond Captain Britain, and he does. Couldn't clear it. Room number 5, Superior 6 Vulture taking out Spider Society because I couldn't use them in 4. And then room number 6, Night Stalkers taking out an Immortal X-Men. Stop putting this on defense. It's not a good team to put on defense. All right, room number 1, my opponent used Cabal, Ultimus, and Black Knight and took out my Gore, Thanos, Kahori, Ms. Marvel Classic, and Ms. Marvel Hardlight. And the reason why this worked is because my Ms. Marvel Classic got deleted turn 1 by Ultimus because I am not a spender. And then essentially when someone took a turn against Thanos, an assist came out from Ultimus, got a crit, hit him for 6 million, and he died before he did his passive. So that was fun and exciting. Room number 2, he could not clear my Odin Illuminati room either, so we were even there. He tried to do the Night Stalkers version to clean it up, and it did not end up working. You can see he's got an absolutely stacked Night Stalkers, all 3 diamond except for Man-Thing. You have a tiny Man-Thing. Room number 3, APOC. Old Man Logan, Dokken, pre-taunt, pretty straightforward here on the Sus Storm Annihilators. Room number 4, double sack, yawn, and actually a mirror here. So no Night Stalkers here. Tried a mirror and it worked. Cool. Room number 5, tried full SD. Full SD? That is full SD. Full SD did not work, and then he came in with Superior 6 Lizard in here, which Vulture is better here. Don't use Lizard. And then in room 6, Kang, Void Knight, Rolk, Kestrel, and Guardian absolutely shellacking my Astral MLF room here. So that was a loss because I couldn't clear 2 rooms. He couldn't clear 1. Round number 3. So we did a double sack. And something of note here, this first sack here did a buttload of damage that I was not expecting. So I just did Superior 6 Vulture because I was stealing the speed up from Pav, and I took a bunch of turns and did some massive damage, which I was not expecting, especially with the Mark of Mephisto up. I don't know. Maybe if I threw APOC in here, that could be a potential one-shot, but I highly doubt it. But it could be potentially, or at least like kill the Thanos, and it could be... I don't know. It was interesting. Then came in with a sack. And then came in with APOC Tangled, Ultimus BK, and ended up taking it out. Room number 2, Cabal, Kang, Titania against an Extreme with Rogue and a Storm, trying to change things up a little bit. Room number 3, Old Man Logan, Dokken, Pre-Taunt, Ares, Black Cat. Black Cat takes off the revives, obviously. Old Man Logan and Dokken do work. Pre-Taunt soaks up the Sus special. Same old, same old. Room number 4, could not clear his room number 4. Had issues. Could not kill his Captain Britain. Yeah, it kind of sucked. This was just unfortunate, just unfortunate in general. And then I tried a Hail Mary and it didn't work. But yeah, did not work. Got some bad RNG. They started targeting Moondragon. They started targeting people. It just didn't end up working. Room number 5, we got Immortal with Nightcrawler absolutely destroying this room, doing great things. Room number 6, Night Stalkers taking out a full SD pretty well as well. And then on defense in room number 1, I ended up moving Mephisto here with that Kahori Thanos room because I liked it a lot. So he sacked correctly. And then he ended up using APOC, Ultimus, Emma, BK, and Rolk, and it worked pretty well. So good on him for figuring out how to take that out. So awesome. Room number 2, yeah, couldn't clear. I am doing something new as well, and this will be part of my defense for next week. Dorm in here, because guess what? You can't sack this and snipe Captain Britain if he's got a revive. So this is going to pull somebody using like a North Star or potentially a Black Cat in here to take the revives off spawn. But either way, I found it kind of funny, unless they do like a Night Stalker sack to try to take out Captain Britain, but we'll find out. Room number 3, could not clear my Sus Annihilators and Spider-Man Pav. So he tried the pre-taunt Black Cat and 3-piece Mercs, and it did not work 3 times in a row. So this is what secured the win for me, which was awesome. Room number 4, we got Night Stalker's Kestrel taking out Quicksilver with Orcus. Quicksilver's in there because he gets slow turn 1 from Scientist Supreme, which he clears, gets 20% speed bar, all that good stuff, but it doesn't really do much. Room number 5, Cabal, Kang, and Lady Deathstrike taking out a Spider Society with Lizard. And then room number 6, Superior 6, Mysterio, taking out this pretty well because my Astral is quite tiny. That's right, I have a tiny Astral. So 2 and 1, not too shabby at all. Let's get into my defense. See what we got here. Room 1, I'm a bad person. I don't know how well this works with smaller Kahoris. I was actually on the fence of putting this in here even with a 5 red star Kahori because obviously she's way less dangerous at 5 red compared to 2 diamond, 3 diamond, obviously. But it's interesting. It definitely causes some problems. I do have Raider on OG Thanos. That doesn't matter. Raider on Kahori in case she gets below 50%, and then she could start deleting. Obviously, Raider on Thanos Endgame. I do have Striker on Mephisto, which I'm kind of on the fence about. I do kind of like having a Striker here because there's going to be so many vulnerables up from Kahori and Thanos doing a bunch of damage. But obviously, it doesn't benefit from the room rules because he's not a Striker, a Raider, or a Skirmisher. So I'm kind of on the fence either or. I kind of want to keep seeing how it works out, and then I might end up switching it to Raider depending on how it works. If he's below 50% life and is starting to take turns, then I might end up putting in, Raider because then he's just going to delete with that extra damage. Room number 2, I'm shocked. I've never seen anybody do this before. But here was my thought. Even if when I had Black Bolt in here, the extra 50% life was not stopping Captain Britain from being sniped because I only have a 1 diamond Captain Britain only. So my thought was you can't snipe Captain Britain if he's just going to revive. So I put Dorm in here, and guess what? Dorm gives him a revive. So you can't do the Infinity Watch Echo Sack because Captain Britain will revive. So unless they bring like a Black Cat in here to stop the revives, or like a North Star, but the problem is North Star is going to get slow on the first turn from Hank when he drops the tank, and then North Star is going to be going after Moondragon, so Moondragon's going to kill him, he's going to revive, and then North Star would try to go. So I'm curious to see what people try to do to navigate this. It'll be interesting. Room number 3, this is actually an old defense. This is a defense that we've had in the past. We use 3-piece Annihilator, Sus, and Pav, and the way to counter this was APOC. The problem is everybody is using APOC in room 1. So if you're not using APOC in room 3, Pav with his passive will put vulnerables out there immediately with his passive. So if those vulnerables are out there, then Super Scroll is hitting into vulnerables turn 1, Striker attacking, doing some big damage, getting Safeguard, because I think he gets Safeguard when he does his ISO attack, if I'm not mistaken. I know he does with his basic. But it's just getting some extra damage out there. And Pav is an absolute menace and can delete people, especially Old Man Logan. And guess what? Old Man Logan is one of the main people to come in here to take out this team. So this can counter the Old Man Logan offensive team on here. So I'm definitely interested to see how this goes because Old Man Logan definitely struggles in here. As you saw, my round 3 opponent struggled with the Old Man Logan comp. Room 4, staying the same. We'll just keep the Quicksilver in here. Not using Quicksilver on offense, so I figured just keep him in here. There's really no other 5th that's going to change anything. Now, I will say people that are not keeping Lady Deathstrike for offense, stop it. Keep Lady Deathstrike for offense. She is an absolute monster, and she needs to be on offense. And she will absolutely delete people. And I have a feeling once people realize how good Lady Deathstrike is, pairing her with Doom is going to be a very interesting combo, because Doom taking Lady Deathstrike on the ride for 3 turns in a row is going to absolutely shred most every team. So keep that in mind. Room number 5, dropping the Pav, obviously, putting Pav in 3, putting in Ghost Spider for the Retaliates. And then we have Spider Society and Lizard. Lizard in here just throws some RNG so people can't do the old SD Eternals. You kind of have to bring in BTS in here to get through the Lizard taunt, because if not, he can block the taunt removal from Ms. Marvel Hardlight ult. Then in room number 6, we're keeping it the same. Astral, Morgan Le Fay. The only other option I could do for this is maybe like a pre-taunt like Absorbing Man, because we are not using Absorbing Man anymore on defense. That's the only other option I could see putting in here. I do like having Nightcrawler for offense for a lot of reasons. Falcon's not going to do anything. Black Knight we need for offense. Kang never going on defense. There's really no other good options, unfortunately, so I think it's just going to stay Morgan Le Fay. Again, I might throw a pre-taunt in here just to potentially mess with people. maybe like an Absorbing Man, because the Absorbing Man will could potentially block some stuff that is getting thrown at him because he spawns with Deflect, obviously. So we'll throw the pre-taunt in here. We'll move what's his nuts over here, and we'll move Emma over here. So we'll do that just for funsies, see how it treats us. But yeah, that's going to be my defense for week number 4. Room 1 is an absolute nuisance. Please let me know if you end up using Room 1 on defense and you have a Kahori that's less than 5 stars, because I'm curious to see how she does. And yeah, let me know if you see this defense and you go up against it. Don't blame me. I'm just the messenger. Just kidding. I'm a diabolical human. You can blame me. But yeah, this is it. This is my defense. This is what I'm going to be running for week number 4. Small tweaks will be made throughout the week, so make sure you're tuning into the videos as the weeks progress to see what changes. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, MSFers.